Thank you, David, and thank everybody for this opportunity. At the very outset, in the midst of what has become quite a heated Democrat contest, I actually want to just thank Jack and John both. Even though Jack and I both agree that we'd like to see John retired and have a little more time to put his feet up, it takes a lot of time away from your family, to be in Springfield, and we should, as a community, appreciate that and extend our thanks to him. And to Jack, I thank you because I am very excited to see people really trying to get a position. It's been too often that we see uncontested ballots, and I think it's really fantastic, and it speaks well of you. Right after law school, I worked for the Missouri Attorney General for 3 years, and the very great bulk of that time I spent working on what remains to this day the world's, which is to say the largest in the United States, largest desegregation case in dollars in United States history. $2.5 billion for one small urban school district, the Kansas City, Missouri School District. I can tell you that my work on that case changed forever the way that I see the intersection between government and money. And I'll give you this little spoiler, it made me infinitely more cynical. This small urban school district, as I indicated, had gotten $2.5 billion, and yet it still failed to achieve its two principal goals, which was increased student achievement, and in the case, obviously, of a desegregation matter, increased diversity. I saw the lengths to which entrenched interests would go to keep mountains of money flowing their way, even when the evidence showed overwhelmingly that money was being wasted and mismanaged. Similarly, CPS is a very unique and challenging problem. It has been my position for many years that the district is actually, frankly, too big. The children in the northwest side of Chicago, other than learning arithmetic and reading and writing, share very few of the same educational challenges that beset the children in many other parts of the CPS. I don't think it is politically viable to really do anything right now about the fact that the district is too big, but it sort of overarches most of my thoughts about the district. It's $750 million in the hole. Its infrastructure, except for this gorgeous school and a few others, is crumbling. There are far too many physical plants. Its administration of district-wide is an unrestrained bureaucracy. And frankly, we haven't yet, as a community, I think, come to terms with the sort of reality that permitted the likes of Barbara Byrd Bennett to step her foot anywhere near this district. I believe that selective enrollment schools are by their very nature designed to degrade the rest of the educational experience throughout the CPS. I believe that charter schools are nothing more than a symptom of a system that has broken down. And I believe that the CPS should be designed around a system of more or less equivalent schools that serve neighborhoods. As for funding, I support efforts to update our terrible system that relies too heavily on property taxes. And I want nothing more than to know that our district attracts people. Could you imagine the day that will happen, that our district, not just individual schools, will attract people rather than sending people of childbearing age to the suburbs or to private schools? Just today, you may know that by a vote of 110 to 4, the Illinois House of Representatives approved a measure allowing, if it should pass the Senate and the governor's desk, an elected school board, which is I think a great step forward, except for one thing. It'll allow people to feel that they're getting a voice, but it's really not going to change anything until the systemic problems are changed. And it's much the same as with the state. You can try to enact new taxes and take from Peter to pay Paul and take money from this pot and put it in the other, but none of it will make a difference. None of it will make a difference until we fix the systemic problems, and the systemic problems are a few, and that is most basically that we have a balanced budget requirement in our state constitution, but they interpret it as permitting borrowed funds as being counted for funds available. And when they have enough borrowed funds, voila, they have a balanced budget. Can you imagine? By far, however, our most pressing problem is our unfunded state pensions at $160 billion. Was that I'm done with 5 minutes? Okay, I'll make it quick. Just wanted, I wasn't sure he was, okay. It really is our most pressing problem statewide, is our unfunded state pensions. At $160 billion, I just want to give you a little perspective on this. It's 4 times our normal annual budget, 4 times. And the bad news is that, at least from a budget perspective, we have to pay it. If you're a vested participant, that's good news, but for budgetary purposes, that's bad news. The good news is that it's not an immediate problem. It's a problem we can solve over time, and I hope during the Q&A to be able to address my ideas for doing that. Thank you.